our number classes today? It's kind of cool today, isn't it? I'm telling you all. Amanda, I'm going to report. So right sheet of paper. Alright. I have a number line. On number 2, this is number 2. And it is important that you label your segment or your number line. This is G, this is -8. Then we've got F, which is at 16. Alright, so we need to see, we're looking for C, that's what we're looking for. And we're looking for C such that it is 3, 5, 6. So what's the first thing you do? Oh, hold on. What is the first thing I need to do? Well, C isn't the number 5, 6 of the number one. So C is going to be 5, 6 from something. Yes, so we're going to have to find the length of GF first, and how do we do that? Okay, how do we do it? Subtract. So we could say 16 minus -8, which is going to be a positive 4. So now once we get the length, what do we do with our fraction? So let me ask you this. Once we get our length, what are we going to do with our fraction? Alright. Amanda? Once we get our length, we want 5, 6. So we're going to say 5, 6 of 24. Alright, 6 divides itself 1 time. 6 goes into 24 4 times. This is how I avoid having to get very large numbers. I didn't have to multiply 5 times before. I simplified first. Alright, so now once we get this 20, that's not the answer, because is 20 between -8 and 16? No. Alright, so Caitlin, this is the way it's worded. It says, what is the location of C? That's what we're looking for. Such that CF is the 5, 6. Now, C is what we're looking for. So that doesn't help us, but this does. What is that telling us? Alright, so that means I'm working with F, not with G. And remember, whatever point we find must be between these. So if I'm here, I've got to go this way, and that direction tells you whether you add or subtract. So that means we're going to have to take 16, we're going to remove 20, and we're going to get -4. In other words, that is where C is located. C is at -4. So the 20 is the length of CF. The -4 is the location of it on the number line. Okay, what's next? Thank you. Yes, MJ.
Number 3.
Number 3. All right. So this is great to ask number 3 now, because it's just you'll see how this process is now going to be done 2 times. And I worded 2 and 3 differently, so you have both wordings, because I've probably done both wordings on your test. So you need graph paper tomorrow. Make sure you have graph paper. Either print it tonight, go buy some, but I told you a while ago that you're going to need graph paper. Alright, so if we look at number 3, we've got -12 and we've got 18. So I think what I'm going to do, how high do I have to go? I have to go up 8 also. Alright, I have to go over -12. I'm going to graph this. So I'm going to get smaller graph paper. If that doesn't hurt your eyes, I don't know what will. So I think I'm going to be safe here. Alright, so we need to plot negative 12, 8. And I do believe this is 5, 10, 11, 12, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you want to make sure that you label this M, and you do the orders there, negative 12, 8. Then we want to locate 18, comma, negative 2. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, down 2. So this is going to be N, and that is 18, negative 2. So the segment that we've got here is connected from here to there. Now, this is what makes it easy. You're going to take your x's down to the x-axis. You're going to take these up to the x-axis. This is negative 12 units. This is 18 units. So we are going to focus on this segment and this segment alone, just like we did number 2. We're going to this. So as we pretend that nothing else exists, what's the first thing I need to do? Nick? Erase the line? I need to find a point that is 3/5 the length. Well, I need to find what I need to multiply by 3/5. So how do I find what I need to multiply by 3/5? That's my very first step. How long is this? Okay, and you got 30, not by adding, but saying 18 minus a negative 12. Because if you added, you would end up with 6, correct? So this is finding the length of a segment. You will have a question on this standalone. Okay? So now we know that the whole length is 30, and we only want 3/5 of it. So how do I get 3/5 of this length? First, multiply 3/5 times 30. 5 divides 5 once, 5 divides 30 6 times, so that's going to be 18. Alright, so let's look at how it's worded. We want to find the coordinates of W on the segment MN such that W is 3/5 the length of NM, and it says from N. So which one am I working with? Pardon? I'm working with N. All of that N. Okay, because it said from N. So, I have to be between negative 12 and 18, and I have to move 18 units from here. So, then am I going to add 18, or am I going to subtract 18, Eric?
Subtract.
Yes. Now I'm going to take this 18, okay, that 18, and I'm going to subtract this 18. It's confusing because what and I get 0. So my ordered pair W is going to be 0, comma something. We just did the x's. Now we're going to repeat the same process for the y's. We're going to come over here. We're going to come where is here? We're going to come over here. So when I look at my y's, I'm going to be focusing in on 5, 6, 7, 8, and negative 2. So we're going to pretend like nothing else exists, and we're going to focus only on this segment right there. So starting the process over for the y's, what's my first step? Brittany? Alright, and that's going to be plus positive or 10. Now that means the blue is 10 units long, but I don't want 10 units, I only want 3/5 of that. So Tommy, what do I do next? So we're going to say 3/5 times 10, and 5 divides 5 once, 5 divides 10 twice, so we're going to get 6. Alright, but that doesn't mean my coordinate is 6. That means I have to move 6 units. 6 units from what? So N is here, so that means we're going to do 6 units from negative 2. So to do 6 units from negative 2, what do I have to do, Devin?
Negative 2.
So we're going to take our negative 2 and we're going to add this time, and we're going to get 4. So my ordered pair is 0, 4. Just because you subtracted the first time does not mean you're going to subtract the second time. I cannot say you will always add, you will always subtract. I can tell you that in this first step, you will always subtract. Okay, that's always subtraction. And I can tell you this step is always going to be multiplying. But now you have to think. And I can't help that. I can't make that any easier for you. So, it's all about if you move up, it's add. If you move down, it's subtract. If you move right, it's add. If you move left, it's subtract. So now, what you want to do is you want to go to 0, you want to go up 4, and it should fall on your segment. If it does not, then you know you goofed and made mistakes. Next question. Okay. 7. All right, 7. Draw the picture. I can't tell you how important it is to draw the picture. You may have patty paper for this test. So if you don't want to draw the picture, you can put your patty paper over the picture to put stuff in. This is going to be A, B, what's the very This is going to be A, this is B, this is C, and this is F. So they said C, F, B is 4x plus 1. They told us that CFA, this whole thing, is 12x minus 19. And they told us that BFA is 5x minus 2. They did not tell us that this bisect would be equal. So MJ, what's your equation going to be? Say it again?
What are they asking?
They're asking you to find the measured angle BFA. 5x minus 2 plus 4x plus 1 equals 12x minus 19. What postulate for your definition told you this? What's this called? Anybody? What did we just do? Yes, it's angle. Angle what? Addition. Alright, so from here you're going to have 9x minus 1 equals 12x minus 19. You're going to subtract your 9x. You have negative 1 equals 3x minus 19. You're going to add 19. So you got 3x equals 8. 4x equals 6. I'm not going to do anything. Take this. Alright, we got x for a reason. We got x because we need the measure of angle BFA. How are we going to find the measure of BFA? So we're measure of angle BFA is going to equal what? Exactly. Other questions? Yes.
Is that? I got 3 equals 3x minus 1. It's like maybe
Where? Here? Okay, did you do 5x minus 2?
I did 4x plus 1 plus 5x minus 2.
Equals 12x minus 19?
Yeah.
And did you get 9x minus 1?
I got 9x plus 3.
What's a negative 2 and a positive 1? So it looks like you understood it, you just didn't close it.
They don't calculate.
Okay, I think that was probably operator error and not calculator error.
I think I added negative 2 plus 1.
That's what it was.
That's still good, right? Negative.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, maybe you didn't push the negative button hard enough. Brittany.
Number 5.
Okay, number 5. Now we're working, so that's angles. Now we're working with the segment. What did number 5 tell us in the directions?
It says LH equals 4x plus 1.
No, let's go back up to the directions. What did they tell us?
Oh, the diagram below is either based on the scale. H is the midpoint of the cycle.
Does H look like the midpoint?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like the midpoint. Am I going to draw my diagrams to scale? No. You have to know, how do I mark my diagram based on what we're given? How do you mark a midpoint? Okay? So if you choose not to read the directions carefully, you're going to have issues. Alright, so then it says LH. So above LH, I'm going to put 4x plus 1. Then it told us that KL, this whole thing, is equal to 9x minus 17. Now, if I was given this information on my angles, I couldn't have done my angles. But there's something here that I have that I didn't have there, and what is that? What relationship is here? The congruent relationship. So if this is 4x plus 1, what must this be? Right, that's where the midpoint comes in. Now, what equation from here are we going to write? Kayla? It's not here. So we'll try this again. Tommy?
4x.
Okay. That's one option, or you could have done plus 4x plus 1, your choice. 9x minus 17. So when you distribute the 2, it should look like this, or after you added your 4x plus 1 to itself, then you're going to subtract 8, and I'm going to get 1x, and I'm going to add 17, and I'm going to get x to be 19. Now they asked for KH. So once you get x, how are you going to find KH? MJ?
4x plus 1.
KH is 4x plus 1, and our x is 19. 4 times 9 is 36, so that would be 76 plus 1, or 77. Next question, MJ.
9.
Alright, so now this is where it's all about your angles. All about your knowledge of your angles. On 9, it says G, E, E. So I think what I'm going to do for the moment, G, B, E, and H, B, E. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw the part of the diagram that I need. And the part of the diagram that I need is going to look something like this. So they told us that this is G, that this is B, that this is H, and that this is E. So they said G, B, E is one angle, and the other angle was H, B, E. So you tell me what type of angles those are.
I put supplementary.
Okay, let's go for the name of the angles. Yes, that's the relationship. All right, hold on. This is not. So I gotta get rid of the E. All right, here we go. Leslie, what type of angles are they? They're a linear pair. That is, but we learned that these were a special pair. And the relationship is supplementary, which means add to 180. Either way, whether it was linear or supplementary deals that have one in.
So if you put supplementary instead of linear, is it wrong?
I would prefer that you recognize that they're linear here because these main words. Okay? So now you're going to say 8x plus 20 plus x plus 7 is equal to 180. That's what this told us right there at 180. So you have 9x plus 27 equals 180. When you subtract 27, you're going to end up with 153, I believe. And when 9 goes into 15, 1 times 63, I believe that's a 17. All right, now we need the measured angle 1. So now I need, this is angle 1, right there. So, this is what I've been working with. What do you know about angle 1? It's equal to HBE. So, I can find the measured angle 1 by finding the measured angle HBE. So my question to somebody is, what type of angles are 1 and HBE, Karen? What type are they? Well, they're like this. What's their name? These are obtuse, but we need something that has more relationship. What's special about this angle right here, and that angle right there? What are those called? They're vertical, right? Vertical angles are going to be here forever. And the relationship on vertical angles is that they are equal. So we're going to take our HBE, which was x plus 7, and we're going to say that 17 plus 7 or 24. Next question. Caitlin. 24. Now we're on construction. We're doing angles. Let's go to a new page. So we've got a little angle, and we've got a little bit bigger angle. So this is SOP, and this is PQR. And we're supposed to do the sum. So we start with a segment. We grab our compass, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to open your compass. You're going to put your compass on one vertex, and you're going to draw an arc. You're going to move your compass to another vertex at the other angle, and you're going to draw an arc. And then we're going to come down here, and we're going to draw the exact same arc. So all of those 3 arcs must be the same. Now, this is the only part of the test that you're going to write out. Only part of the test you will write out. So if these arcs are unequal, then they're not going to be a correct sum. So now we've got to start to measure our arcs. So I'm going to come up here, we're going to rotate this around. I am going to put my compass point here, and then I'm going to open up my pencil point to touch. See how I measured it? So now, you see that compass point? It's going to come to the same place down here. Not there, here. So now I'm going to move my compass down here, and I'm going to intersect the first arc. Okay, my pen is run out. How can I write Very good. Very good. So on segments, you kept marking off the segment. On angles, you keep marking off this arc. So now we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to come up here and measure the other angle. So I need to get my compass open to that angle. Now, I'm going to take this to the arc I just made. If I make an arc over here, I am doing what? Adding. If I do an arc over here, I would do what? Subtract it, so that's 25. So now you're going to connect this vertex, that, point of intersection. So that would be 24. Now in 25, you're going to have to do 2 of these. So we would do 1 arc for our compass point here, do another arc to take away. Next question. Oh, number 10. Okay, we're looking at angles 1 and 2. So I'm going to draw just what we need at the moment. And what I see is I see this situation. So this is 1, this is 2, and there's this box over here. If this is a box, what is this?
Right angle.
A right angle. Well, what's the relationship between 1 and 2? Okay. So let's go to something else. All right, 1 and 2. Becky? What kind of angles are 1 and 2? Based on that box. Okay, together they're right angle. What does that mean? Yes. So you've got complementary angles. All right, if we have complementary angles, what's the relationship of complementary angles that we see?
They add up. 2 angles add up.
Okay, 2 angles add to, how much? 90 degrees. So they told us that 1 is 4x minus 1, 2 is 3x plus 7. So based on what we just wrote as our relationship, what is my equation going to be, Becky? Right, equals 90. So now you're going to say 7x plus 6 equals 90. So you're going to have 7x subtract 6, you get 84. I think x is 12. So that would be our part D, and then E asked us for HBD. So HBD, that's not what it is. That's it. So this is H, this is B, this is B. So I'm going to highlight this angle. H, B, B. What do we know about this part right here? It's what? 90. So I want to get that angle. I need, it's going to be bigger than 90. How do I find this other part, Kayla? Okay, how would you find this angle here? What if this angle were 10 degrees? What would you do? If this is 90 and that's 10, how big do you know? What did you do? You added them. So the problem is we don't know what this angle is. But we do know that. Okay, 3 times 12 plus 7. 3 times 12 plus 7 is angle what? Angle 2. Measure of angle 2, which is going to be 36 plus 7, which is 43. So this angle's 43, this angle's 90, so what's the measure of angle HBD? Kayla? This is 90, this is 43. Right. So you're going to be 90 plus 43. Okay? Other questions? And this.
25.
25 is a subtraction.
Or 26.
Okay. 26 is the bisector of an angle. So how do we bisect an angle? Well, first we start with an angle. We get our compasses. And we're going to put the compass point on the vertex. Once we get our compass point on the vertex, we're going to draw an arc that intersects both sides of the equal. So, this is a hot spot. This is a hot spot. Means that's where your compass point's going to go next. So now we're going to put our compass point here. And we're going to make an arc. And then we're going to put our compass point here on the other hot spot, and we're going to make an arc. There we go. So now, what do I do? What do I do? Take the vertex to that point of intersection, and how do you mark your diagram? They must be marked.
With a little
Curve here and a curve there, so I can get they are congruent. Caitlin, put your hand up. 29. Use the diagram to construct a line perpendicular to UW that passes through X. Alright, so we learned 3 different perpendiculars. One was a perpendicular bisector where we had no given point at all. And then we learned 2 others where we're given a point. Here we're given a point. This is U. We'll make this X. And this is W. So when I go to do a perpendicular at X, where do I start with my compass? Harper's not here. Where am I going to put my compass point? Brittany?
You're going to put it on X.
I'm going to put it on the point that we were given, which is X. And I'm going to do an arc on this side, and then I'm going to do an arc on the other side. Alright, and again, we do those arcs to create 2 hot spots. So from here, where's my compass point going to go? Kayla? Exactly. Now I'm going to open my compass point wider because I want to get it away from X. So I do an arc. And then after I do that arc, what am I going to do next? Travis? Switch it to the other point of intersection. And the goal is to intersect the original arc that we had done earlier. So now with that, how do I go from here to get my perpendicular, Karen? We go from X through our point of intersection. And how are we going to mark the diagram? Mark. So important. MJ.
Ready.
So you're going to mark the, so we're going to make a right and more boxes. Next question. MJ? 28. So 28, now we're going to do a parallel. So this is the angle construction. And we already did an angle construction. We've got some point up here, and we're going to begin with, how do we start this parallel construction? Kayla? We will, but we need a line first. But we need a line that's going to intersect this line.
Oh.
Right. Then, we're going to put our compass point there. We're going to start at the vertex of this point here.
Okay, why don't you just draw like that?
And you could have drawn it any way you wanted to as long as it passes through that point. Okay? So now we're going to come down here, now we're going to duplicate an angle. So I'm going to make an arc, and now I'm going to slide my compass up to this point and make sure that I have an arc above. Oh, wrong, just messed it up. Okay, so I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to make sure that I have an arc up here also. So our goal is to duplicate this angle. Which means we're going to come down here to this compass point on that vertex, and I've got to adjust my compass so my pencil point's on that point of intersection. I'm going to redo this so it looks like this, because This is where I'm going to come, this is the hot spot, that's the point of intersection that I've made. We make this intersection, and all we have to do then is connect those 2 points, which I take in this. And how do we mark parallels? With these arrows. That's time for another question. Nick? 27, construct a line passing through B. All right, so this is another perpendicular. And so I have a line, and I've got a point up here, and I want to, this is my point B, and I want to be perpendicular. So where do I start with my compass? My compass point's going to go where, Jay? On where? On the point. All right, so we're going to start on the point, but our opening now is really important. How do I open my compass? Sydney? Okay, this pencil's got to be below the line. This is our happy construction. So we just intersected that segment 2 times. Those are our new hot spots. There's a purpose there. So now what am I going to do? Where do I put my compass point next? Jennifer? Hot spots. On the point of intersection, we do one of them. We make a nice arc. And then from here, where am I going to put my compass point next? Samantha? Yep. Without changing the opening, we're coming here, and we're going to intersect this arc again. Now, how do I finish my construction? Harper, not here. Brittany, in. We're going to connect B to my point of intersection. I'm going to draw A showing the perpendicular. All right. I want you to study with this homework, so I will collect this tomorrow. Yes. Your homework tonight is to study. Your homework tomorrow night will be A16. Okay? A16 is due on Thursday. Now, you will have bonus on the test, and the bonus may be justifying angle addition, definition, and midpoint. So the stars mean homework test. Kayla, MJ, Amanda, congratulations. Was it worth it, Kayla? Was it worth it? Yes. That's why it's signed. Okay, we need a homework test. Okay?